Well, a good afternoon and a welcome back to Bromont in Quebec. I'm Phil Gazala and I'm sitting here with Katie Stavzak, and we're about to see the 6 competitors come forward for the Longines FEI World Cup jumping, the jump off here on the first leg of the North American League. Belgian designer, course designer Luc Musset has set a super course, Katie, and I expect shortly we'll see the jump off, but it's been very good so far.
It has. I think he got the ideal number of clears that he won over a course like this, and this jump off is going to determine quite a winner. You're going to start off with the same first fence from the first round, but then a new fence introduced on course, fence 14, 1.60 m in the back. That is a tall oxer on that back rail. A nice rollback off the left turn. The test here, there's a lot of more open space. You're going to need to gallop in the lanes that you can, while then steadying in some of the lines, like you'll see from our Longines oxer to our angle vertical. The double comes back into play here. Important to not let your horse's shoulder fall in, coming around the fans in the stands on that final turn, and then a long gallop back, but make sure you have your horse back in time for our still 1.60 m Longines plank vertical. However, one thing to note, the plank is now in the middle of 2 rails. It is not sitting at the top.
And that, of course, means the cups have changed as well, because the plank will be on a flat cup and the rails will be on a more concave cup.
Yes.
Okay, Katie, I'm not sure it's really fair to put you on the spot again, but we've got 6 competitors. Heather Caristo-Williams, who's had a bit of a roller coaster ride this afternoon, a lot of emotional time with having a fence down, then not a fence down, and now in the jump off.
She has. I hope she knows that she's jumping, because if I were her, I might be a little confused as to whether or not I was still going.
You mean you might be in the bar by now?
Maybe. I might have needed to drink off if I had a rail blown down by the wind. But she's in this, and she's debuting with a fresh horse, but has to go first. That's a tough position to be in.
Then followed by 2 Canadian riders, Jen Sarek and Isabelle Lapierre. What about those 2 ladies?
Both coming in with relative inexperienced horses, but they've both been riding consistently, and it's all about being on a hot streak, coming in confidently.
Juan Manuel Gallego, of course, he has experience representing Colombia.
He has it. He jumped here at Bromont last year, not in the World Cup qualifier, though he has in other venues. He's going to look to add Bromont to that list.
Ali Ramsey's a penultimate competitor in the jump-off, and she has got this wonderful 10-year-old Hermelin Vidi Hugova. They're in good form.
Yeah, if that name is too hard to pronounce, you can just call her Maya. That's the nickname that Ali calls this mare. Absolutely loves her, and I thought that their round was one of the smoothest and most well-ridden throughout the afternoon.
Last to go will be Charlie Jacobs, 8th here last year, already been to 3 finals. He's last to go. Great position to be in. Absolutely.
He's going to know exactly what he has to do to win, and it's going to be up to him to decide this one.
That's the 6. The scene is set. The arena, which we'll see in a minute, is looking absolutely magnificent, all being raked, and the crowds settling down for a very, very tough and exciting jump off here in Bromont, the Longines FEI World Cup. First of the 6 into the Olympic arena here in Bromont, representing the United States, Heather Caristo-Williams riding Quivive Dischange. 11-year-old stallion, Zangasana bred by Caprice. First on the jump, of course.
Coming in first, it's really a mental game. You want to put the pressure on by being clear, but obviously you have to go quick enough or no one can catch you. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for Heather, because her horse has such a monstrous jump. He spends a lot of time in the air, so you need to make up that time in other areas by galloping in between the fences where you can, especially here, and on your track, being very handy in the turns. So far, clear for the first 3 obstacles. You can see there she tries to move forward, but it's done a little bit too late as she kind of pushes past that oxer and takes down the front rail. Now out to be the fastest 4 falter, if that is the case indeed here.
Just 1 to go, has the foal on the ground, so there is 4 faults, but clear the last, and Welsh will stop the clock, stops at 45.73 with 1 down, 4 faults, 45.73 for Heather Caristo-Williams for the United States. Only 6 in the jump off. Valuable points needed.
Coming here, you see she really starts to move up, but it's a little bit too late there. She probably should have held off. A nice long gallop to the last, though, and that tall meter 60 vertical isn't a problem. She's got to be thrilled with her horse today. It was a big step up for them. It's been a bit of a roller coaster afternoon, and she's going to end up with some good points and a fantastic ribbon.
For Canada, Jen Serick riding Wicked, just a 9-year-old by Eurocommerce Berlin. First of 3 Canadian riders in the jump off.
And she's getting a big round of applause. She has been second in 2 classes this week. She just needs to get over that final hump to be a winner here this afternoon.
This would be a good time to do it, Katie.
Absolutely, and it's the World Cup qualifier debut for these two. What a start that would be. Might have been able to gallop a little bit more in between those fences, but she's smart about it. She knows that she just wants to go clear right now, and she sets things up very, very well. All right, now let loose.
1 to go. Still clear. Jen Serick for Canada. Will this be the first field to jump up? Yes, it will. Stops the clock in 43.70. 43.7. Jen Serick into the lead here in Bromont for Canada with Wicked.
She did her job. She went clear. Now the pressure is on. You have to go clear if you want to win this class. Take a look at that fist bump and nice wave to the crowd. They supported her all the way home. And what an accomplishment it would be, and what it would mean to her to be able to do this in front of a home crowd.
Gauntlet thrown down by Jen Serick. 43.7 seconds the time that she has set. 4 to go. Staying with Canada, Isabelle Lapierre riding Seska N. Crowd getting right behind their riders, their athletes this afternoon. Isabelle Lapierre, Seska M for Canada. 43.7 seconds to beat. Katie, can it be beaten?
Absolutely. There's definitely a few places leaving the door open a little bit. Again, she did the right thing to set up and get that clear round, but especially off that Asante vertical back on the Longines Oxer, you can be quicker. Some encouragement there. She's making the turn tight. Fanning out a bit, but she wants to get straight to Longines Oxer. Job well done.
Rattles gets away with it.
There's potential to do a leave out there. Fighting. Fighting.
Still clear. It's going to be very, very close indeed. 1 to go. Into first place, goes into the lead. Isabelle Lapierre takes a couple of hundredths of a second off the time of Jen Serick. Canada stays in the lead. Isabelle Lapierre, 43.39 seconds with Seska M. Still 3 to come. Wow, what a competition.
Watch her here down the final line. Everything was caught perfectly out of stride, and she isn't afraid to just gallop all the way home here. Her horse does a fantastic job of backing off that final stride and setting up perfectly for that meter 60 vertical. And she's thanked for it too, deservingly so.
What faith she had in that mare. Great round. So Canada, first and second place at the moment. Isabelle Lapierre, 43.39. That's the time to beat. 3 to go for Colombia. Juan Manuel Gallego riding Kulash van der Broy.
Colombia, Canada, And USA remaining here in the lineup of this jump off.
That's the new fence in the jump off, Katie, isn't it? That's the Oxford with the big back rail.
It is 1.60 on the back. It ramps up, and you got to make sure your horse is ready for it. Getting caught up there in the turn, second guessing himself on the gallop. He tries to steady, and his horse comes back too much. They pretty much pull up at that fence. Unfortunate development. There's that 5 strides there. You can do the leave out, and that is where Isabelle Lapierre has left the door open.
Just the one to go. The big upright to finish. 7 bolts in all. Isabelle Lapierre, that's the current leader. 43.39 she's set, but Juan Manuel Gallego finishes on 56.6 with 7 faults.
Picking up a few time penalties there. Due to that refusal, Isabelle Lapierre can take a nice little breather. She holds on for Ryder with 2 more remaining here and some good ones.
I was going to say, Isabelle knows that Ali Ramsey and Charlie Jacobs are not going to hand it to her on a plate.
Absolutely. She's not quite home free yet.
Worst she can be is in 3rd place, picking up the 15 points, but she wants to be first, so being put on display. 2 to go. Stay with Canada. Ali Ramsey riding Hermelin Vikhugova. 43.39 to beat. That's the time set by teammate Isabelle Lapierre.
Top 10 finish at the World Cup qualifier at Thermal in February. That was part of the league last year. They're guaranteed that type of finish today, but they'd be very happy if they can take home a winning rosette with them. And that's how you do it down that first line. You can't be hesitant. Oh, and just coming back on that. Oh gosh, that was a heartbreaker. She set it up well. Rolling home, they're going to pull down the Longines vertical as well. So she's going to go out a bit wider and get things straight for the last vertical.
A disappointing round with 2 down, 8 faults. 43.82 the time for Ali Ramsey and Hermelin Vikhugova. And therefore, Isabelle Lapierre with that 43.39 seconds with Seska M still in the lead. There she is. She knows she's going to finish with 17 points and put her on the road to Paris, but will she get the maximum 20? Well, Charlie Jacobs is the only man that can answer that question.
And he's going to have to answer it very soon here. Last to go, he has the position that everybody wants coming into a jump off like this. Now it's just executing the plan.
43.39. Set by Isabelle Lapierre, representing our hosts, the crowds right behind her. It's only the United States that can stop her from getting the maximum 20 points in the Longines FEI World Cup.
And it's a 3-time World Cup Finals veteran in the driver's seat at the moment.
Here he comes. Last-minute discussions with some people who've watched the jump-off rounds.
Well, there are 3 places where he can be faster. First is up the first line. I thought Ali Ramsey rode that fantastically, just moving, not being hesitant going up to that 1.60 meter back rail on fence 14. The other place is your track from the Asante vertical to the Longines Oxer. Can you cut it tight while still getting straight? And lastly, can you do the leave out in 5 strides to the Engel and Volker's vertical? Isabelle Lapierre, she did 6 strides in steadying. If Charlie can move up and do 5, he's going to save a lot of time there.
Katie, brilliantly analysed. Isabelle Lapierre just has a few seconds to wait, but this man doesn't give up easily. Charlie Jacobs for the United States. Kazinja S, the last to go here in Bromont. 43.39 seconds. That's the time to beat, set by Isabelle Lapierre for Canada.
And you can see Charlie kind of winding his way around the ring, giving his horse a closer look at some of these jumps to prepare her for the turns that he's going to ask for momentarily. And he's going to rev up right away.
Here we go.
And he held too much. The first fence is going to come down. Isabelle Lapierre, ecstatic. She doesn't have to hold her breath for very long. She's going to take home the win today. Now Charlie's just going to be out to see if he can be the fastest 4-faulter here. Charlie was so determined to set up that first fence properly that he held a little bit too much and they didn't get across the first fence. Rolling down the hill down our last line, the Longines vertical will come down as well.
And he finishes with 8 faults. Charlie Jacobs, time of 45.22, but it's all about the lady on your screens, Isabelle Lapierre for Canada. She gets the maximum 20 points with a wonderful 10-year-old mare, Seska M, on her way to Paris. Isabelle Lapierre. Well, we've just got the start of the season. We're here on the East Coast at the first of the 7 qualifiers. Isabelle now will be focusing on the remainder of that calendar, Katie, because that's a hell of a start.
Absolutely. She's going to get her first ever World Cup qualifier win today.
Let's go with Kate. She's got Isabelle with her.
Isabelle, a win in front of a hometown crowd. Describe how you're feeling right now.
It's amazing. This horse has been so perfect all year, all her life, I think. And last time I was winning, they put the cooler, the ribbon, everything, and there was one more to go, and it beat me. So this time, I was really hoping to win.
And of course, we saw a jump come down early, so you had time to breathe. Exactly. How special with this particular horse does it make this moment?
Oh, it's just that, you know, I'm from here, and my dad, my mom, everybody's here. So I kind of won for them, so it's perfect.
Congratulations. Go enjoy your moment.
Thank you.
Katie, let's relive it.
What an afternoon. Clear rounds, difficult to come by early on. They started to come in, and Isabelle Lapierre committed the whole way through. She's going to come home a hometown winner today, and as she just said, gets to share it with her family. How special is that?
And this mare's just 10 years old.
Just 10 years old. It's her first ever World Cup qualifier victory. And hopefully she can build off it because we've got 13 more legs here in this North American League.
Great scenes. Great scenes for our hosts here in Quebec as Canada take the Longines FEI World Cup qualifier here in Bromont as Isabelle Lapierre goes clear, 43.39 seconds. No one could get close to her.
She'll never forget today. I don't think we will either. Just pure joy on the face of Isabelle Lapierre. Going to take home a very special victory with Seisha M.